So my friend made a new TikTok account the other day, and this was the first TikTok on her feed.
I promise you, if you turned off your phone, all you're allowed to do is just go do research on money, what it is, and how to make it. I guarantee you that with one day, you'll have more information and you'll be smarter than 99% of people, because that's how ignorant most people are.
That's crazy. I don't know why this came across their feed. This guy is like some alpha male influencer, one of the people that posts about their car and being in like the top 1%. So with this idea in mind, I decided I would investigate this guy. I mean, I wasn't refraining from being on my phone for a whole day to become a part of the top 1%, but I was only watching your content for a whole day, Sebastian. So by the end of this, I expect to be in the top 1%, and by the end of this video, I expect you to be too. So I'm going through this person's page, and it's a lot of like motivational content about making money with like a slowed and reverbed version of a song.
I like the idea of being ride or die with one person and having her feel the exact same way about me. I like that idea of having an untouchable, unbreakable bond. I really like that.
Anyway, as you can see, that's a video on how to be the top 1% man. It's really easy. All you got to do, not drink, not watch porn. Basically, don't have any fun. If you don't have any fun and you're never on your phone, and not only are you the top 1% man and smarter than everybody, but you're also, I guess, a fucking loser. I also found it very funny that this guy's talking about a dopamine deficit or a fast of dopamine in a video that has like a million jump cuts, blaring music, a bunch of cool looking edits that are made to like fire off the dopamine receptors in your brain. I mean, in order to be successful on TikTok, you have to basically be a wizard with dopamine. Anyway, that's not the only like trick this guy is pulling. In a lot of the videos, he talks about this giveaway with some friends of his that I think have a podcast. It honestly looks like a fake podcast. I know people on TikTok just like pretend to be a part of a podcast. They just sit somewhere with these mics, say whatever they want, and it's not that you can't actually find the podcast anywhere. If you go to the site, you find out that in order to join the giveaway, you have to sign up on his website. Then you sign up to take his free dropshipping course and start a Shopify shop. And the person with the most sales over a month gets like $10,000. If you don't know what dropshipping is, it's basically where you're paying a provider that has a bunch of different products to ship them under your brand. Basically, you can go on sites like Shopify, partner with a warehousing group or a production group that has these typically copy-paste items, and you could create your own website, brand it how you want, and claim that it's yours. And no one would be ever the wiser that it's not your business. You're not the one in charge of production. A lot of people see it as a quick, easy way to make money, especially because people like this guy tout it as the reason they're like super rich. But a lot of the time, there's so many people doing the same thing, also literally selling the same product, that there's not really any money to be made. You're basically gonna have to like beat all odds just to make any money on your shop. But in the meantime, you're gonna have to pay for like Facebook ad, Google ads, but also like a lot of people, they go to coaches that will teach them how to maximize their revenue and become rich just like them. A very popular influencer that does things like this is Tai Lopez. You remember him from
Here in my garage.
And look at me for a second. Let's get serious. You're not him. You're not Tai Lopez, okay? Sebastian Ghiorghiu. Sebastian G is not Tai Lopez, okay? Because one of the things you notice is he'll tout all of this drop shipping, but it's always pushing some sort of course. But wait, I thought in the video he said that his course was free. How could he be making any money? Well, if you go to that website and try and make an account like I did, you get an error page. I don't know if I'm just unlucky, but when I put in my credentials, it just gave me an error and I refreshed and nothing would happen. Eventually, I was able to log into my account, so I went to my library of videos expecting to find this free course, and it was also just blank. So I don't know, maybe the traffic is so big because there are so many people getting ahead of you, becoming the top 1% man. Or maybe he doesn't really upkeep this part of his site because he has another course on his website, and can you guess how much it costs? It's not free, it's $500. They also tout a month's worth of content, but apparently it's just like an 8-hour course. Let's assume like 4 weeks, that's like 2 hours a week. Not even half an hour a day if you're doing every weekday, but you didn't come here for math. Basically, from giveaways to viral short form content, this guy has one purpose, and that's to push you to this course. Probably because this guy realizes that there's typically not any money to be made in side hustles like dropshipping. But the one thing that there is money to be made on is courses. We're gonna watch his story of his life here in a second, but I'm willing to bet that at some point he got coaching from somebody, and I guess he must have spent a whole day off his phone because, like the smartest person ever, I think he realized that the only people that make money in this industry are people that say they make money, get you to believe them, and get you to pay them to tell you how.
Here in my garage.
I don't know if anybody has ever won one of these giveaways. He has a TikTok where he says some kid in Arkansas won.
We're saying this with proof. Like, we literally had a guy that you said you talked to the other day who went from nothing to having 100K in the bank, literally from our free course.
So you can see in his language, he's like, come on, there are people that win all the time. These people, they find these great products and they're just making $30,000, $60,000, hell, $1 million a day. But he had to go and watch my course, and it's free, but it's also not really free because the second one cost $500 and the first one didn't work. Anyway, I wanted to learn a little bit more about Mr. Sebastian G here, and I found out that he has a YouTube channel. As you can see from his YouTube, the content's not really all that different. We got the inevitable collapse of America. Wait, holy shit. That's Biden with a gat. He's got things like the best business to start in 2024. I tried drop shipping for 60 days. But his most popular video is I went from 1,000 to 8 million my story. So he starts by saying,
I intend for this video to go viral.
and honestly, I mean, why wouldn't it? You're like, okay, how'd you do it? Did you find a genie lamp? Does your dad have some dirt on Epstein? But then he goes on to entice you with all the cool shit he has. His dream sports car. He's building his dream home. It's also funny because he goes on to be like, I also fly first class everywhere. And because I had been so brain damaged from all of his TikToks that I watched, my first thought was, no private jet? Ooh. As you can see, I no longer speak broke. So he starts to talk about his past and the fact that his family didn't have any money. At one point, he even says he tried to roast an egg on a candle because their electricity was out. They couldn't afford it.
It's a story that some of my OG fans might know, but
Yo, OG Sebastian stands. You guys know that egg story? No, not the Humpty Dumpty one. You know what? It's fine. But in that, he talks about always seeing his mom say they didn't have any money and the struggles that went along with it. And as he says, it poisoned his mind.
I had this idea that poisoned my mind, and it was this idea that I needed to be wealthy.
It's also pretty funny that now I guess he's using that poison to try and take money from other people that were in his situation, but well, you know, let's move on. So he goes on to say that when he was a kid, he wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
I remember reading that they make like $350,000, $400,000 a year, which at the time seemed like quite a lot of money.
Of course, he has to say it the most douchey way. The things I would do to make $300,000, $400,000 a year, I would watch your TikTok for a whole day if it meant I had a chance at okay, I see what you're doing. Go on. He talks about his first job at a KFC Taco Bell, not to be confused with the combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. But it's then that he reveals that after going through a bunch of different jobs and really working that grind set, that he saw a video from a guy on YouTube. The dude is Graham Stefan. I've seen his videos on YouTube. This guy got the whole course mentality from him. But this inspired him to basically become a landlord because he found out you could make money and not do any work. And then during that time of him becoming a real estate agent and waiting to sell houses, he was like, I need to be making money. I got so much downtime. I'm not on my phone. And we know he's not. So in this time, he discovered drop shipping.
I'm going to try drop shipping. Long story short, my first store doesn't work.
But then one of his stores made $35,000. And he was like, nice. And as he was just raking in the money, he decided, why not share this wealth of knowledge with all you people? Now, don't watch it on your phone, because remember, the top 1% doesn't use their phone. But he started posting videos like how I made $700 a day drop shipping, how I made $991 a day drop shipping. You can scroll through this dude's channel, and it's like the most successful videos he does. And he goes on to talk about then the other ventures where he started like a Google Ads agency, you know, the kind of ads that that you would put on your store. So even if you don't sell anything, if there's any traffic at all, he makes a cut of it. But he also says that he was like investing in crypto, and the night before the crypto bubble burst, he just had this genius premonition to short the market.
I was awake like from 5 a.m. till 6:30 a.m. and I watched everything just crumble, and I was like, damn. I was like, dude, I just made like $40,000 at 6 a.m.
He talks about it as like crypto investment, when in reality, it's a really sad situation where a bunch of people got manipulated and coerced into investing more than they would have with promises from videos from creators like this guy. But that brings us up to today, where he's 23 and he's got his dream car, he's got his house, he's only flying first class. But yeah, life is good. He doesn't want to seem like he's bragging. He says he shut down his course, which isn't true.
You know, I don't have a course. I shut that down many years ago. I don't have anything to sell you. If you have a business making, you know, $50,000 a month and you need Google ads, please hit me up.
Maybe he's referring to the fact that you can't access, like you can't log in to the course anymore, but I assume the $500 one still works. And even if it doesn't, he's got a giveaway where he's still promoting it, so it has to work in some capacity. This dude has a course. He says that he has nothing to sell you in this video. He just wanted to introduce himself. But if you go to the description of the video, you've got a Shopify link with a 14-day free trial that I think is an affiliate link. He does link his course too. Why is your video saying one thing and your description says another? But at the end, he also lists his Google Ads agency, which is another way he can make money off of all the people that use his, what do you call those? I guess just company. I thought about doing the course. I thought about watching all 8 hours of the free course, but I wouldn't be allowed to show any of that on YouTube, I don't think. But it also just feels mind-numbing. I don't think you want to see me be like, create a Shopify store. He then says that you should get ads. There is no amount of Subway Surfers that would make that any less mind-numbing. So I went and watched some of his other videos. He has a video on like how he got healthy, and in the description, of course, he's plugging his friend who's a coach. In any of his videos, he is always selling something to you. And that's really why I wanted to make this video. You might see that TikTok at the beginning. Well, maybe not you, but somebody who's not in the top 1% is gonna see that video and be like, yeah, I'd like to make money on the side. I'd like to not have to work anymore or retire when I'm 30. These are common talking points that are used by pyramid schemes to get you to be like, oh, I should try this. And it always results in you giving them your money with typically not a good way of making it back. I'm willing to bet that 99% of the people that try dropshipping don't break even. I know people that have tried dropshipping on Shopify and they've bought the ads, and by the end of it, they're down a few $1,000s at best, sometimes more. But the guaranteed takeaway is that he's gonna get your money regardless of how well your store does. This dude is just a snake oil salesman trying to sell you anything he can with the promise of becoming rich. In summary, I really hate these kind of videos. They are a plague, and they are all over short form platforms. You can go to YouTube Shorts on a new account, TikTok on a new account, and you'll find people exactly like this dude. They're talking about buzzwords like crypto, AI, drop shipping, promising that you'll be able to retire early when at the end of the day, they're just stuffing their pockets at your expense. So yeah, I guess if you made it to the end of this video, you spent probably 10 minutes on your phone hearing about something you may have not known before. But hey, this is something that less than 1% of the people in the world are gonna watch. So in a way, you're smarter than 99% of people, huh? I got my course in the description below. When I was younger, I used to have to look at my bank account to even afford Taco Bell. But then I found out about drop crypto and ship NFTs. What a lot of people don't know is that if you actually take the 2x and you add a 3x or a 10x, you're gonna get something like 600x. I really need to jerk off.